Yeah, someone suggested to me over the weekend, they said, what would happen if you added a black sports jacket to your beach t-shirt? The one you never wanted to beach, the conch shell colored one. Some would say salmon colored. Well, I've done that to fantastic effect, if I do say so myself. I'm looking at myself now on the studio cam, and you're looking at me as well. And write me and let me know what you think. Or don't waste your time. Don't do it at all. Now, this is an exciting week because we are graduating from chapter 5 to chapter 6 tomorrow. That's right. If all goes well, tomorrow we're going to introduce the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the legendary 4 horsemen. No, not the 4 horsemen of Notre Dame. That was the front line of Notre Dame college football team. Yes, the Fighting Irish. No, we are going to talk about terrible plagues that are coming upon this earth. War, famine plagues, and a white horse rider. I know what these things are. Now, but that's tomorrow. Today, I'm going to read to you the final 4 verses of chapter 5 of the Unveiling. And I haven't done that yet. All this talk about the lambkin and the animals and the elders and their hymns of praise, their hymns of universal praise, universal creation, and of God buying them and delivering them from the bondage of corruption. I have not yet read the last 4 verses. And these last 4 verses, verses 11 through 14, are astounding because of what happens on the earth when this scroll is handed over to the lambkin. I mean, I am seeing more and more how epic this event is, and it is followed, or should I say accompanied, by a universal reaction. Not only in the heavens, we've seen that. We've seen the reaction of the heavens to this scroll being handed to the lambkin and opened. But we're going to see a reaction on earth. Every creature on the earth and in the sea is going to somehow react to this. I believe it will be visible. Call me crazy. I'm a literalist. Here we go. Unless there's an obvious reason to take it as a figure. Now, chapter 5 at the beginning, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but of course we perceived, and there's a throne, lambkin, there's a scroll, and it's handed by the one on the throne, God, to the lambkin. And he's worthy. And the animals and the elders praise him as being worthy to open the scroll and to break its seals. For you are slain and you buy us for God by your blood. All right, now verse 11. And I perceived and I hear a sound as of many messengers. Now this is angels. These are celestial beings. Many messengers around the throne and the animals and the elders. This is all taking place in the celestial realms. And their number was 10,000s of 10,000s. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a great math whiz, but I did some multiplication on my calculator. And now I merely multiplied 10,000 by 10,000, but that's only a fraction because this is 10,000s of 10,000s. So basically, it's at least the plural of 10,000. So 2 10,000s would be 20,000. So you'd have to double this at least. But this is the minimum. No, this actually isn't the minimum. This is merely 10,000 multiplied by 10,000, and that is 100 million. So this is at least 200 million because it's 10,000s of 10,000s. And thousands of thousands. So there's thousands of thousands added to 10,000s of 10,000s. That would be the number of the messengers, of the many messengers surrounding the throne. I hear a sound as of many messengers around the throne. Well, I dare say, if they have wings like the cherub do, I bet that would make one heck of a sound. Well, John hears a sound in any case. And as of many messengers. Can you imagine? We have no clue of the numerous celestial beings, how numerous they are, of the heavens. I believe it's clearly more than Earth. I can't say here. And why 10,000s of 10,000s is qualified by the following statement, thousands of thousands, I don't know. But listen to this. They say with a loud voice, and we've talked about this saying before, worthy is the lambkin, which has been slain, to get honor and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and bliss. All these wonderful things are going to come to the lambkin who was slain, and now finally he's getting his due. He's finally reaping the benefits of what he did way back there 2,000 years ago on the cross of Calvary when he was slain. Now here's the amazing thing, the last two verses. And every creature which is in heaven and on the earth and underneath the earth and on the sea. So not only are we including now the creation in heaven, which we've just looked at, every creature which is in heaven and on the earth and underneath the earth and in the sea and all those in them, I hear saying. So John is hearing every creature now at the handing over of this epic scroll that will inaugurate the two good eons where God gets honor, glory, power, riches, wisdom, and strength, and bliss. This epic moment is shouted at, celebrated, joyously, exuberantly memorialized here by every creature. And they say, to him who is sitting on the throne, to the lambkin, be bliss. I love that bliss. It's pure pleasure. We forget that this is what it's going to be for us, and this is what it is for the lamb. May it be bliss for the lamb. Just pure, uninterrupted, unadulterated happiness. And honor and glory and might besides that, for the eons of the eons. That is the last two eons of the 5 eons. An intelligent, distinct phrase. And the 4 animals said, Amen. And the elders fall and worship. My God. When the lambkin takes the scroll, there is a responsive, let's call it thrill, throughout creation, similar to the thrill of the sons of God who shouted for joy when the foundations of earth were laid, which we read of in the latter chapters of the book of Job. Before humanity was even created, the celestial world recognized, the sons of God, the good ones, the good guys, recognized that something now, there was a foundation laid, something was being done for a universal distress that I believe was brought into the universe by the disruption of the world, which was a revolt of some kind of spiritual beings. Now there's a thrill throughout creation, from its center to its circumference, from the center, which is the throne of God, where the animals and the elders are. We know the thrill there because they've been singing songs incessantly since one was found worthy to open this scroll, which will begin the judgments of God on the earth and buy the earth back. Well, should I say, it's already been bought, to deliver it. From the center to the circumference. The center is the throne. The circumference would be, I would say, those things underneath the earth and on the sea. So from the very throne of heaven to the depths of the sea and even underneath the earth. And we know that is Tartarus, the gloomy caverns, as Peter calls them, where sinning messengers are held, those who were disobedient in the days of Noah. All creation is included here. This is a heavenly choir. It's composed not only of the animals and the elders and the messengers, but every creature on earth is going to join in. It is a universal response. Now, A.E. Nock here calls this, the taking of this scroll, the most amazing act in human history. The most amazing act, I'd say, besides the cross, I would qualify that. And it creates, if we may put it this way, in the words of our modern tabloids, it creates a sensation throughout the universe. And there's no limit here. Every creature is included in this last word of praise of chapter 5. Every creature of God, every creature created by God, every creature represented by the animals responds to the sublime occasion of the passing of the 7-sealed scroll to the lambkin who is about to open its first seal. This is not a record of the reconciliation of the world. That comes later, because this is the height of the enmity between creation and God that would inspire the opening of this scroll. It's the crisis of the estrangement. And it's what's inspiring, again, the breaking of the seals and the opening of the scroll. So we're not looking here at this universal language of praise. We're not looking at the salvation of all. We're not looking at the reconciliation of all creation. That happens at the consummation. But what we have here is an earnest or foretaste of that outcome, of the reconciliation of all, at the beginning of the taking back of earth, of the beginning of the eons of the eons. We're seeing a recognition of this. It's a glimmer. It's a foretaste. This is a turning point in the career of creation. This scroll being open is a turning point in the career of creation. And God is giving every creature a sense of it when it happens. Now, it's going to happen on a certain day. Whether it's a Wednesday or a Thursday, I don't know. But it gives me the chills to think that it's going to happen on a Thursday. I just say that arbitrarily. I'm just saying that to make you realize that this is going to happen in the timeline of history. Although it's going to be happening in the heavens, so it'll be invisible to us. Yet there's going to be a sense on the earth, and every single creature is going to sing this song. Now, whether they use these literal words mentioned in the second to last verse of chapter 5, to him who is sitting on the throne, to the Lamb can be bliss, honor, and glory. Whether that's going to be actually said, there's going to be a convulsion in creation. Now, we know that dogs sense storms coming. I watched an amazing movie last night called The Impossible. It's about the tsunami of 2006, and it followed the fortunes of a family. And it was really well shot, amazing special effects, but right before the tsunami hit, you see these birds flying overhead, and the people have this, there's this eerie sense that something is impending. It's the same way, as I said, dogs get before a storm. They hide, they get weird, they start scratching themselves, whatever. But there is going to be some sort of perceptible sense on the earth. It's like everything, every creature is going to either be privately singing. In other words, if you could put a microphone down to the whales in the ocean, they have those weird squeaks. If you were to do it at the exact moment in heaven, this scroll was handed to the lambkin, you would hear an alternation, some kind of deviation from their regular noises. Instead of you're going to hear something. I don't know. I'm just trying to find words to explain that I believe this is literal. That every creature, well, we know from, I told you, Romans 8, right? I was in Romans 8 not long ago, that the creation groans for the manifestation of the sons of God. Well, for an instant, that groaning is going to be replaced by a song of rejoicing. And those who are tuned into the animals will be able to sense it. We'll be able to notice something just happened. My God. And maybe science will even report it. Maybe there's going to be this thing that all animals, something weird happened with the whales, with the birds, with the fish, or even with humanity, because humanity is included in all creation. And humanity is again represented by one of the faces of the animals that make up the throne of God. So something epic is going to happen when this scroll is opened. I don't know what it is exactly, but the creatures, in a sense, are wiser than humanity, right? Balaam's ass was smarter than Balaam, wasn't he? So I'm telling you, this event is going to be marked. It's going to be invisible to the eye in heaven, but those in the know will be able to tell when it happened. They'll be able to see some kind of jubilation in some way, whether cows jump or fish jump out of the water all at once. Some crazy phenomenon is going to happen. And those in the know, those of you listening to this, will be able to say, oh my God, in the heavens, the scroll, the legal document, was just handed to the lambkin. John saw it. And it just now happened. I believe God. And I believe that these events, these momentous events, will not come without some recognition. We know it's happening in the heavens, but by God, it's also going to happen upon the earth.